Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. It is definitely my pleasure to see you all again. Hi, if you don't know, I am Lewis Porter Jr. and today we're going to talk about something that I enjoy a lot, and that's money. But it's not just having money, it's making money. So today we're going to talk about the best way to generate regular income on Patreon if you're a publisher, artist, or writer. The thing I don't understand is I know tons of people who are writers and publishers and artists, and they're doing work, and they're always like, I need to make more money. I need some extra money. I need more money. And I was asking the same thing. I'm like, hey, are you on Patreon yet? And then they look at me all confused, and they're like, no. And then I look back at them and go, are you slow? You're not very bright? Why would you not be on Patreon? So just in case you don't know, which I'm like, if you don't know, I don't know what's going on. You see, Patreon is a website that basically helps you as a publisher or an artist or a writer gain fans, aka patrons. Get it? Patreon, patron. And it's there for you to gain fans that can pay you directly on things you give them, whether it be an album release, like say you release a song every week and they charge you for that, or you have a monthly setup. So my Patreon happens the first day of every month, and my patrons get charged, and that money comes to me. Now, my Patreon is very, very small. Don't get me wrong. I've been working at it. I've had it on and off for a couple years. Initially, I did it doing a series called Infinite Dungeon. We were doing very much like a model that Monty Cook came up with a few years back for Dungeon a Day. It was a brilliant idea. I think on Patreon it worked, magnificently. But we weren't big enough, and we couldn't get enough traction in it. Now, I have other friends who are well-known in the industry. Wolfgang Barr, being one of them, has one for his Cobalt Press line that he does Patreon. It does very, very well. He's got a very large fan base. I know he does lots of gifts. I don't know how much money he's made on it, but I know it's in the several hundreds. I know that. Another one, Green Ronin, has done theirs with Mutants and Masterminds. Their Patreon, I know, is about $600 a month they've been raising. They put the amount up, which I do appreciate, just wondering. So you can kind of figure out how well you're doing, considering. And to me, it just seems like a perfect place for people to go to generate additional income they may have on top of the money they're making delivering products to their fans. The most important thing is that they basically build your fans directly on the site. See, the hardest part of this whole game is building a fan base. Everybody talks about building a fan base, but they really don't do a lot to do it, period. They'll do Instagram, they'll do Facebook, but they don't actually have a site that's really dedicated to what they're doing, which does a couple of things. So, number one, Patreon basically lets you make posts. You can make as many posts as you want. 1 a day, 12 a day, none a day, whatever. And people who are your fans can come to the site to see what you're talking about. But what they also make it really great is they separate the free side from the pay side. So your free side is free stuff you're giving out, just information, that kind of stuff. But your patrons who give you money, who support you with actual cash, well, there's a secret back end that they can get access to. And then you can do really special stuff for them. You can do very, very unique things. You can do stuff that everybody can't get, only patrons can get. People who support you with money, they get cool stuff. And I love that aspect. Even more so that I love that you can block certain levels of patron. Like suppose you have a Patreon and you have one for $1, $3, and $5. That's your 3 different levels of patrons that will give you money. Well, maybe you want to make something that's only available for the people at the $3, but not the 1 and the 5. Or how about something at the 5 and not the 1 and the 3? You can do that. Or you can make something for like 3 and 5. Click, 2 button clicks, done, easy, you can do it. It's very simple. It really is a brilliant idea. I'm just so amazed that so many people don't do Patreon. And I mean, realistically, it doesn't really cost you anything but time. So, in that sense, this is what I'll do. I'm going to help some of you out. Here's a plan you should use. So today, if you haven't used Patreon today, first thing, go to Patreon, sign up. There'll be a link down below in there. You can sign up on that link. It'll take you to it. Go there, sign up, and just read what they do. Get all the information on the page. Read. Get everything. It doesn't cost you anything. Just read all the information. Figure out what they do. Figure out what you can add. Figure out what items you can give away that patrons would pay you money for. And once again, it could still just be your blog. It could just be a regular blog updating. And this is what you do if you're just starting something right now. Like today is your first day of starting, boom. You then spend from today to when you release the product just talking about the product. Every day you talk about it. Every day you talk about it. Every day you talk about it more and more. And you build content on Patreon. And your fan base can see that. And then you can tell people, hey, check out my Patreon to see some other stuff we're doing. And then if you're really a super fan, make a donation. Whether it be a one-time, monthly, whatever. Make a donation. We get the money. It helps us support us doing what we're doing. It is a brilliant, brilliant idea, I think. And I'm still amazed that people are still not using it. If you have a comic book company and you're not using it, you should be slapped. If you are an artist who's not using it, you should be slapped. It is the easiest way for you to get money from people who want to give you money as your fan because they want to support what you're doing. So for all you people complaining, oh, I don't have any money, I can't do anything, why don't you have a Patreon? Well, I don't because you're stupid. Because you're stupid. Just admit you're stupid and keep it moving. Stupid, keep it moving. That's all you got to do. So go to Patreon, check it out, see how you can save yourself some money and be in the right place making some dollars. Because I can't keep screaming about you every day about all the dumb things you're doing to not help yourself get bigger and stronger. So do yourself a favor. Patreon, make the money, and have a good day. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all later. Hey, thank you for checking out my channel. Do me a favor, check out my other videos, and if you like what you see, subscribe.